welcome back. You're watching something new. After finishing off a show last week, I sat down and thought to myself, what would I like next? And honestly, well, my own personal interest and maybe bias into certain genres, well, I was slightly informed about some little show, which if you've seen the title, you know what exactly it is. And you want to know the funny thing? I know absolutely nothing about this show, apart from the name and a bit of genre. So, going into this completely unprepared. But when am I ever? So, if it's something that might be interesting to you, stick around. Take a look down in the description if you want to see some of the full, uncensored versions. Of course, though, if you do that, at least have the YouTube one in the background, so, as a little gift to me. Just put it on mute. You don't have to actually watch it. Because there may be plenty to explore and see in, I'm gonna butcher this, really. Sousou no Frieren. Okay, from what I, assume this show to be like, not the kind of intro song I expected, but not going to complain. It definitely caught my attention straight away. That was a beard. But rather artistic with some of the shots, and then maybe less artistic with some others. From that tiny clip there, I am hoping that we're going to get something kind of fancy with some animation if you're going to get spectacle going. And the emotions and tone is all over the place, so I'm not sure what I'm meant to be getting from it. Just from the small tidbits, this might be a world that I enjoy. It's like the first step on a journey. The land where souls rest. Audio. Well, if it is a Land of the Dead kind of thing where you can just live peacefully. Frieren. I would put the I had present in my head. I was about to say, a triumphant return, so they're defeating, this is the world after the completion of their big task? Or so why does the sky have like a film grain? But yeah, so many things. We got to go defeat the Demon King. We've defeated the Demon King. Now what? Just start a new game, obviously. Or, actually complete all the side quests that you've been stacking up. How many sheep need to be returned? Apples collected. I like that there were some in the audience, the gathering of all of the townspeople are not actually dancing in the streets. That's what I was trying to say. Unless a bigger... Chapter 6? Unless a bigger threat now appears after the Purge of the Demon King. There was some fancy fireworks there. Yeah, I'm sure. You may want to, So he just sat back, so, alright, off you go. We don't expect anything good. But, you know, with their wiles, they actually managed it. His hairline for facial growth is stupidly high. To be fair, I get bits in the upper cheeks, and that's not... Well, it would have ended for half of them. See, we would have liked to see some of these adventures. Just reminiscing of... We were really shit back then. And probably still. Is she a little bit like loot blind? See some gold and ooh, sparkly. That goes in my pocket. Are they going to miss having things to go and do, travelling? Mere 10 year. She Huntel faces. I guess, as was kind of mentioned before, for her life, it might be quite of a short time that spent together. Is this a pan across the... Okay. I was going to say, is that a pan across the sky, or is that meant to represent time passing? But well, it could be both, but metaphorical. Yeah, the light pollution from the city really spoiling the atmosphere. 50 years. Her sense of time. Will they all still be together in 50 years? The amount the priest drinks? Maybe not. I do like one thing, they kind of rough painting that all the background is. For the next 100 years or so. Yeah, until she gets bored of it. How old is she? How much longer does she have? How many people is she going to see pass by her? Well, there's the time passing aspect I was thinking of we were having earlier. How many seasons we just went through? A journey of just collecting the spells like trading cards or... Is that a massive mandrake or something? Back with the mimics. No one to save her this time. How did she get out of that one? Maybe the mimic just got bored. So, seriously? You fell for it? That's a nice shot, just lazing in the river. Were they hunted to extinction? So she only goes back to see them when she needs something, right? How long was she gone for is the thing. She thought she's only been gone 50 years. It's been so much more. Do you even remember the way around? Sure, the layout might have changed slightly, but it's been a while. Could be worse, I guess. What kind of life did he lead since defeating the demon king? Well, his memory's sharp though. Okay, that might be difficult to just ignore then. However, as a memento, they didn't have much to remember each other by, apart from the memories of the journey they had. Right, she struggles to see. Did they capture his good looks? They could have at least put a little bit of emotion on her face. You're bored. Give it up. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Agree with some things that she says. Definitely not looking at my family tree and the amount of hair. He hasn't aged too badly. Has he got any grey hairs? A week's walk. Can half of them make it that far? But one final, little journey together. I don't think some of them are going to be around for all too much longer. I do like, despite being shown to be very elderly or whatnot, his eyes still have that luster. Yeah, you definitely want to hide away from certain things now. Is that just a stick? I mean, he worked as a pretty good decoy. She is only happy when she's out exploring. I think pretty good spot. Have the reflection off the water, even if you are just looking up at it. But him knowing that the time is near as well, and that being the what he wanted to experience. Empty cabinet, an empty street, a day of reverence. How does she feel anything with this? Does she understand the emotions of this occurrence? I mean, taking some of the flack there, bring a little humour into the situation. They're the ones that knew him the best, really. Sudden realization or something to say too little too late. Does she know any resurrection spells? And yet maybe it's only when things are out of reach and gone that you actually do start thinking about it. How how reckless could she have been, thinking of things in her ways? Return of the patting on the head. Is she going to see the priest again at any point? Hmm. His liver's not the best. And what is death to an elf? So long lived. I suppose as a priest, if he was afraid of dying, then he would say something about his uh, his religion. Considering at the beginning we were told about the land of souls and all this. However, now her road has changed slightly. Would he be willing to go on this journey up with her? Well, he seemed pretty spry with running with that stick and whatnot. Also, I wonder if the beard is attached to the helmet, so he takes it off and is completely clean shaven. This, I didn't expect this kind of poignancy from the show really kicking off first episode, getting to the life and death, how short and fickle it all is. How one's entire life's adventure can be boiled down to a few key moments and memories. How much of an impact we leave on each other. "20 years later. Do you know the way to town?" "Ah, I see. Good thing that she came." "I came expecting you to be dead. Why aren't you dead?" But the one she came across was one that I knew where he lived, but also was an assistant caretaker child thing. A war orphan. He's changed in his age. And is this to come and learn a little bit about him, and just before anything, see if what she's learned has put that to the test a little? However, he's not cut out to teach her. How many... If she's not doing it just for "I'll be better off alone," it's actual worry and care for her. Resurrection and immortality. Found just a little too late. She's got plenty of time to do it. Was all pictograms? Was it to... It's not for him, I'm guessing. He's now more afraid than ever. Has he lost his faith a little? Has... so he's already been failing. The amount of drink that he's had. But, is he gonna have a last adventure like Himmel did? Or was it Heiter? I don't remember the dwarf's name, really. There's a big staff. She doesn't have the best sense of direction. Oh, a lack of presence. One after my own skills. He wasn't lying when he said that she had the... She had the outlook to be a proper mage. It was Heiser. That she almost can't... just can't reach it. So she's a powerhouse, but can't control things over a distance. It's a means to an end. It's a thing in this world, I guess. So a sense of camaraderie with the girl and her journey in magic, and I like this art style, I guess. An animated collage making a scene. Almost like a kaleidoscope in ways. But yeah, so I don't even know what to describe this episode as. It was just... oh, that was pretty. Character development, like the offset, the outside of the world, certain people and things. While we might not have gotten attached to him or particularly closely, I guess, if him as a person or a character, but concepts we can all pretty much feel and get behind, really. And I will say, now, after the aspects of that episode and what it tried to get across, the beginning little chipper intro feels a little at odds. But an elf's journey, a life so long, she can take things easy. She has that luxury of just wandering around for a while, seeing the sights, the world, the people, the ancient tomes, the inside of a mimic. Not everyone is all that lucky. The hero aging beyond belief and being the first to pass. I wonder what his life was after the defeat of the Demon King, how the city treated him, what kind of stuff he got up to. But truly a talk about lifespans between different species. It's something I've thought about and read about and heard about and talked about before. But it is something that is sometimes keeps me up at night. If you have, well, just amongst humans, just among people we know, lifespans can vary wildly. But what about really long-lived species like elves? They can go through entire civilizations, crumbling and growing. And what about the dwarf? Sure, he was saying he was getting ill. When Imma was still alive, he did quite well. But 20 years on, getting a little more frail. I didn't expect an existential dread of the inexorable march of time, thanks to this episode. But if anything, it really kind of puts a fire under your butt to actually get out and do things. Get done what you want most. Nothing like a little fear of death to make you see what's really important. And also her saying that having that book that should be able to process, be able to unlock its mysteries within 5 or 6 years. Does he have that in him? Is he going to try his hardest to outlive the mysteries of that book? To be fair, if she doesn't learn resurrection magic, then maybe he doesn't really have to wait. As long as he's not too far gone once he's up and out the ground again. Necromancer Frieren. You don't need to worry about seeing all your friends die if they can just come and party with you later on. But as a small episode, world building wise, Demon King defeated. Little bits and pieces around the Shadow Horn. Yeah, why is this? I don't know. Just kept it in a cupboard drawer for 50 years. I do like certain tropes were kept in place, like the "You're our hero, our saviour. By the way, here's a cookie. Fuck off." 10 pieces of copper to start the journey to defeat the Demon King. How many other heroes were sent out on that journey as well? What kind of adventures is she about to have with this new apprentice? One that is so skilled, yet needs some tuning when it comes to spells and magic. Is she going to sense a bit of compatibility with her? So she's a war orphan, but of which war? See, this world isn't exactly a calm and peaceful place. Now that the Demon King is gone, is it just nations that are waging combat with each other? Well, exciting first episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really do want to see more. Unfortunately, I have stuff I need to do, so I can't even binge watch it. But I guess if you did enjoy, if I entertained you in any sort of way, consider leaving a like and a comment on the video, maybe even subscribe so you can keep up to date and not miss out future episodes. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Try not to drink too heavily. Maybe we can enjoy the meteor shower at one point. Let's say 50 years. See you in the next one. Hopefully the chronology of this channel will last many more years to come. If you would like to help extend it ever so slightly, consider joining onto my Patreon, helping out the channel grow, sustain itself, and hopefully not shrivel up and die, is my patrons that are Noku, Sal, Croyville, Diego Zenhausen, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Light Wizard 91, Shiwan, Tori Jane, and everyone else. For without them, there's no way I could go on any sorts of adventures.